Alright, it's been almost a year since Silksong came out, and I think it's time to do a proper look back on the entire experience of the game, and if it holds up to the standard to its predecessor, the original Hollow Knight. I'll be doing a slight deep dive on 3 main things. 1, the map and exploration, 2, the story, and 3, the bosses and combat. Timestamps will be below, and let's flurkin begin. Out the gate, the environment is a lot more vibrant and aesthetically pleasing. I am a bit biased since I am a true nature tree-hugging lover. The opening segment really emphasizes how much work they really put into the design of this area, and it did not disappoint further along the games, like Farfield, Coral Chambers, Biowar, I don't know who fucking put that in there. Shit, even when you go into Bellheart for the first time, I was in total and utter shock. And don't even get me started on the Act 3 bosses area, like the Coral Tower? Are you fucking kidding me? When I Silksong up through the ocean, the feeling I got, I can't even describe it. The life oozing out of the screen with the beautiful colors go with it, like just straight eye candy. And speaking of Act 3, when Act 3 starts, you wouldn't think they would add even more content. They already have. Spoiler alert, they did. And a lot of it. The changes to the map, the different areas unlocked, the environment completely switching upon its head, and the vibe and the tonal shift of their entire story. And the 3 bosses you have to kill by going back in the past through their dreams. Like, I think one of them was called the Lost Vermont, or wherever it's called, Vermont. Lost Verania. That was really cool. It was kind of like the right side of Farfield. You're able to like see how Farfield was in like its past. It was really, really cool. Sorry if I sound a little sick. My nose is just congested as a motherfucker. But all of it blew my expectations out the water. But let's get back on track. The areas fucking slapped. The colors were on point. And the moments throughout were spectacular. I don't know what score to give it, other than 10 out of 10. The story was actually applicable to understand, whilst not going to a Mossback video to fill you in. Hornet speaks and has actual merit to what she is saying. You can see how she's learning throughout the story and her values being tested alongside it. She's a little more cold and hard trusting, but the more and more she lingers in Farloom, the friends she makes, she becomes a little more caring, and that caring personality kind of oozes out a little bit more. But it really goes to show how much Team Cherry elevated their writing and world building when it comes to this game. And off the bat, you get set on a mission to find the people who captured you and why they brought you to this place. Then it turns to this roller coaster of finding your ancestors woven into Farloom. Each area explored, each ability unlocked, shows more and more how connected Farloom is to Hornet and her people's past. Lace being her half-sister is crazy. The Queen of Silk being manipulated throughout her time at Farloom. And the discoveries of the Weavers before her time. I mean, all of it I understood throughout my playthrough of Silksong. People who haven't played Silksong or Hollow Knight could be thinking, well, isn't that something you should expect for a single player game? No, I didn't understand Hollow Knight nearly as much as I did Silksong. When I played through Hollow Knight, of course, I picked up a few things here and there. But with Silksong, it was a lot more direct and clear to what they're trying to get. I don't want to get too deep since it would be like major spoilers, but I'll give the story a 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't blown away storytelling, but it wasn't terrible or like mid storytelling either. 3. The combat bosses. Man, do I even gotta say anything here? The combat is one of the best combat systems I've played in any game ever. The smoothness of it, the fluidity. I mentioned it before in my other video. If you really start to get good at the timing and the types of attacks to do at certain moments, you would feel like an endgame boss. The abilities you progressively get make the experience even more exciting. The builds you can come up with from the different crests and tools. Even though it has its flaws, like certain crests are just not clearly as bad than other crests, same goes with the tools. It's kind of similar to Hollow Knight, but the creativity of it shined hard and bright. I could genuinely go on and on about how much I love the combat, but the video will end up being an hour long. And with good combat comes with fantastic bosses. I'm gonna say straight up, I might get a lot of flack for this, but most bosses in Silksong easily I mean, easily clears Hollow Knight bosses. The best boss at Hollow Knight, for me at least, was Nightmare Grim. Off the top of my head, I can name like almost 10 bosses better than that fight. Widow, Phantom, Trobio, Carmelita, Lost Lace, Last Judge, First Sinner, Groll. Okay, that last one was a joke. But you see what I mean. The amount of moves each of these bosses have is insane. Especially Lost Lace. Like when I was fighting her, I was stunned of how many moves she had. She's almost 20 moves in her arsenal in the 4th phase. Yes, I researched it. I went into the wiki. She's almost 20 moves in her arsenal. That is crazy. To give some perspective, right? I'm gonna search up Elden Ring bosses, and I'm just gonna go to like a random boss. Melania. She has about 12 to 13 moves in her arsenal. I understand that's a 3D game, but Lace almost has 20. And on top of that, there's variations of those moves. So it could be, might as well like 25. It's diabolical. Overall, the combat and bosses are a 10 out of 10 for me. Without a doubt, no question about it. But the question that needs to be answered, does it hold its ground almost a year after release? Like, come on. Of course it does. And I think personally, it's better than Hollow Knight. The only thing Hollow Knight got on Silksong is its exploration and aesthetic. Maybe it's pacing as well, but that goes 50-50. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll be running a few YouTube polls as well throughout this week to gather some more data. So subscribe if you're new here. But yeah, that is it guys. Have a good rest of your time. And please, wear your seatbelt. Have a good one.